Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Film Fan Club Show. My name's Sam Carrico, and I'm joined by Peyton Grufik. How are you doing, Peyton?
I'm doing good.
It's been a while since you've been on the show.
It's been a while.
So, are you ready to talk about some things?
I am ready to talk about some things.
Well, let's see what thing we have first. First, I did a trailer reaction for this. You might remember that. Check it out if you haven't yet. But Rogue One, a Star Wars story. The first trailer came out. It shows Imperial threats, rebel heroes, Felicity Jones, Ben Mendelsohn. Lots to digest. We've already heard my thoughts a little bit on it, so we'll start with you. What did you think of this new trailer, Peyton?
The trailer, it did let me know I was in for a good movie.
Yeah.
But along the way through the trailer, I know what the movie's about. I know it's all about the rebels trying to steal the Death Star plans.
Yeah.
But throughout the trailer, I just could not tell what was going on. And I understand that.
It's a teaser.
From a teaser trailer. And that's the same way I felt about the Force Awakens trailer. I watched it and I went, I have no idea what's happening.
Well, this did definitely give us a little bit more so than Force Awakens.
Force Awakens just gave you pretty shots.
Just shots, yeah, exactly. Like, ooh, what's that round robot thing?
Right. And then look at that lightsaber.
Yeah, that has a crossguard.
Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, exactly. But this one, I like the way it felt like a war film, really, especially with those sirens going off. It does two things. And it lets you know that we're back in the Star Wars universe.
Right.
And not only the sense like Force Awakens, where we're just, we're revisiting that universe after 30 years. It's like, no, we're back at the time of the original trilogy, right before A New Hope. The Jedi are gone. So what do you think of the Grand Admiral, the mysterious white figure that has the white outfit? Who do you think he's going to be?
I have no idea who that is.
Pretty interesting because this is a time frame that we're so familiar with, yet we know so much little about it.
Right.
What did you think of the? There were some pretty cool shots of him, walking through water and whatnot.
There were.
But what did you think of our female protagonist? What do you think of her so far? Played by Felicity Jones. I think her name's Jyn Erso.
Just like Daisy Ridley's Rey from Force Awakens, we are going to have a strong, independent female lead. I view her as the kind of character where she's going to be like, kind of like how Rey was at the beginning of Force Awakens, like I work alone kind of thing. And
just looking out for herself.
Yeah, she's brought in for questioning in the opening trailer, so I'm wondering what her backstory is.
Yeah, I'm wondering if she's, it does seem like she is like Rey, but unlike Rey also in the sense that she's more spunky, she's like a criminal almost, whereas Rey was like a scavenger, she just kind of looked out for herself. This girl, she looks like she's like going around screwing shit up, causing havoc and whatnot, just kind of, and they say, that you get that sense of her character in that one line. She's like, well, this is a rebellion.
Right.
I rebel. Some people thought that was a little cheesy. I kind of liked it. It's Star Wars. You got to have a little bit of cheese. But what'd you think of the new Death Troopers, those black stormtroopers? And there's tanks. There's all sorts of new stormtroopers in there. It looks like we're in for a treat with that.
I like how everything, it's fresh and new, while still keeping to the original material.
Exactly, yeah.
It was great to see those AT-ATs
that was
coming
one of my
by,
favorite shots.
where it turns and fires at them. It's like, I remember you.
Yep.
It's good to see. It's a good thing to see.
Now, one thing that we didn't get to see was Darth Vader. Now, were you a little bit let down? Were you expecting Darth Vader, or are you just kind of taking this in as is?
Too early.
Too early to show?
Too early.
Do you think he's going to be in the film?
I do.
I think
he will be.
We did run a story a couple weeks ago where it's like they were rumored to have a pretty large role, so it makes me wonder if he's going to, how much he's going to be in the film, how much screen time he's going to get. There's a shot of a person in a black robe with a hood on, sitting down in what looks to be a throne room with the royal guard. And there's the
Emperor's guards there.
So people were wondering maybe that's Vader, but then people were like, why would Vader wear a hood?
Vader wear a hood and a cape when he already has a cape, two capes in one.
It's definitely interesting to see. But that was definitely a black cloaked figure rather than because people were like maybe it's the same guy from earlier, but no, excuse me, I got the hiccups. But the clothing was very much different, so it looks like a different character. But it'll be interesting to see what all cameos we get. We got Mon Mothma, and the chick who plays Mon Mothma looks just like the original trilogy, so that was really cool to see.
Right.
And there's a lot of so it's really interesting what all we'll get with the throwbacks and stuff. I bet there's a lot to be had too. Do you think young Han Solo is going to cameo in this?
Well, I haven't heard anything about a casting for young Han Solo yet, so it'd be interesting to see. Right now, no.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll be there.
Would you be surprised if they revealed the casting in that movie, or do you think we're going to get the casting
I'd
before
be
Rogue
kind of upset if he was in Rogue One, to be honest.
why's that?
Because Rogue One is so close
to A New Hope.
To A New Hope
That's a
that
good point.
it would switch appearance really quick, and I can understand. I'm totally okay with casting a young Han Solo, like years before New Hope.
5, 10, 15
this
years.
Is right next to it, and it would just, I wouldn't.
It'd muddle it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I kind of agree with you there. I don't.
Right.
If they do put him in the movie, I'll be interested to see where they go with it.
Right.
It'd be cool at least if we had like a Chewie or a Millennium Falcon cameo.
Yeah.
Because those things it can be from any time.
Right.
Period. It doesn't really change the appearance. But
to me, it's like if they brought Carrie Fisher to try to be young Leia.
Yeah, that'd be
again. It would be weird, and it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll have to wait and see. Rogue One, I think it's safe to say it looks really cool.
It looks great.
Regardless. But you know what else looks really cool? This actually, we're going to get into a lot of MTV Movie Awards news. A lot of stuff came out of that recently.
It did.
First of which was a new Suicide Squad trailer. I just watched it last night. I was working at Fox, and we were like, in between commercial breaks. I just kept looking it up. It's like much like the Oscars. I had to keep going back and seeing what's happened in the last 15 minutes or so. So I saw this new trailer. They're calling it the Blitz trailer, and because the song,
Ballroom Blitz.
Ballroom Blitz was the song in there. So what did you think of this Suicide Squad trailer? And do you like the marketing so far?
I love. It's going to be a great movie, hands down. It's going to be fantastic. Each trailer, it shows new stuff, and all the new stuff they show, it's not a letdown at all.
And it doesn't feel like they're giving away whereas the second Batman vs Superman trailer, stop showing me Doomsday.
Right.
It's like I don't need to see all that. But then and this stuff, I feel like we're seeing more footage, but it's not changing. Okay, I know this is how the film goes.
Yeah. Instead of revealing stuff, it's asking more questions.
Yeah.
We're going what's going on? Like the Batman figure. It looks really strange and different. I'm wondering what's going on there.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about that. I'm curious about the monsters they're defeating.
Yeah.
There's that shot where she slices the head, and it's like, what are you?
Yeah, I'm wondering what that is about. I love the tone of this trailer, really. The way it starts out, it's like, what if Superman came down and ripped out the president and killed him or something like that? And it's like, that's really cool. It just shows what we're in for. And then I think I just saw it before we started rolling, but it looked like there was someone freeze framed one of the shots, and it looked like Amanda Waller was watching some of the footage from the end of Batman vs Superman, the Doomsday fight. So it looks like it'd be kind of cool if the Suicide Squad was kind of created in reaction to the events of Batman vs Superman. So, and then there's shots of Batman, and what would really be cool is if they only show Batman from the point of view of the villains. So we don't really see him without the mask. Really, we see just him as a shadowy figure that's constantly lurking, kind of like a
which would be interesting to do. I knew that Christopher Nolan, he experimented with that
a little bit
in Batman Begins.
Exactly, experimented with it, but didn't quite get there fully. But yeah, Jared Leto as the Joker, he looks fantastic in this
He does,
movie.
yeah. It's a fresh take new, I can tell. It's going to be different, which I am very happy about. I remember when the first teaser trailer of Suicide Squad came out, where he was in just the last 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I went, okay, this is a Heath Ledger performance.
It did seem
from the voice.
Yeah, an impression.
And when the Bohemian Rhapsody second trailer came out, I started reassuring myself a little. I'm like, okay, it looks like he's doing something a little different. And this one, it's something new.
I really think that they're kind of mixing the New 52, not the cut-off face Joker, but the other New 52 with the shaved side and the crazy deranged Joker, with kind of taking cues, of course, from Heath Ledger, because he played the more realistic Joker. So if you're going to be,
and I can tell they are going for a more realistic,
gritty kind of approach to it. So, but I still, I really think I'm officially past the damaged tattoos and the teeth thing. I can officially say that doesn't bother me anymore.
I have a friend who's still very upset about that.
Yeah.
He views it as an angsty teen boy going I'm damaged.
Oh, I could see
that.
I could see that. It is a little cheesy. It's something that if I was doing the Joker, I would not have that. I mean, really, just take away the tattoos and then the teeth, and I'm entirely on board.
Yeah.
But I think they're doing enough.
The character
the character.
Fine.
He seems crazy, deranged. I love the tuxedo. I love how his henchmen are wearing panda bear outfits and stuff.
He's wearing a Batman mask.
Yeah. It's hilarious. So I'm really looking forward to see how they do that. Will Smith even, he looked pretty good. With that scene where he's like, "We're cool, right?"
Yeah.
I was like,
I just wanted to see if you could go there. Yeah. We're cool, right?
Yeah. It was so funny because last week on the show we heard rumors that they were doing reshoots, which they are doing reshoots.
They are.
But each film does reshoots. But we were worried that maybe they were doing it in response to Batman vs Superman, saying that oh, we need to add more jokes. But the director, David Ayer, actually, after this trailer came out, he tweeted, the rumors of reshoots to add levity are ridiculous. Whenever a studio loves your film and they say, do you want to do more? You do more. So it sounds like David Ayer coming straight from the director.
That's a good way, yeah.
He's really,
it's a good film and they want more from
exactly.
it. Yeah.
So he's like, it sounds cool. Like they're like, hey, you know, this is really good. Is there anything else you want to add? He's like,
that's a good point. Why would you put money into something that you know would fail?
Yeah, that you don't believe in. Yeah, exactly. Which is why you could tell the ending to Fantastic Four was so cheap. It was just literally, just throw them in a green screen. We'll shoot some stuff.
Put the logo there. Audience will start cheering.
Yeah,
that didn't happen.
Did not happen. No. But no, I think it'll be really cool to see where they go from here because I really like the Suicide Squad trailer. The tone looks like not like Guardians of the Galaxy funny, but like very just kind of.
It's much darker than that.
Darker, but like with a twisted sense of humor, I think that'll be really cool.
With villains being our bad guys, it's going to be dark, but it's still going to be like a good humorous film.
They're going to be, because these bad guys have sense of humor, especially when you're playing with characters like Joker and Harley Quinn, and you write Deadshot that way. And Deadshot I've never heard of as being a straight, strict character, so you can add some of that Will Smith kind of humor to it. So it'll be really interesting to see. I can't wait for the movie. Do you think they're going to release a couple more trailers between now and then? Do you need to see more at this point?
I don't need to see any more. I know they're going to start letting out the TV spots once it gets down to the wire, which is what Batman vs Superman. They came out with like 15 TV spots, and I know Suicide Squad's probably going to do the same, just 30-second things.
This is the third full trailer for Suicide Squad. I think Batman vs Superman, if I remember correctly, had 4 full trailers. So. They between now and August, that's saying maybe they'll only release one more, but I think we'll probably get. I'm betting.
I'm kind of nervous for another one. I feel like then they'll start to give away too much.
Yeah. But of course, knowing us, we're not going to be able to say nope, not watching it.
I won't. I'll tell myself that for a day and then I'll watch it.
I'll click on it. Yeah, exactly. So, but I would love to see some cool viral marketing come out of this. Maybe start releasing some online clips or some YouTube videos, kind of like Deadpool did, but what really didn't have anything to do with the movie, but it was
just Ryan Reynolds tweeting.
Yeah, it was just kind of just getting excitement out without showing scenes from the movie and revealing plot points. So I think it'll be really cool. I'm really looking for Suicide Squad, and you should too. So moving on to another this time animated film involving Batman and the Joker. It's The Killing Joke, where there was a teaser released along with, I saw 10 minutes of like behind the scenes footage, which was basically just the cast talking about how they're happy to be back. Basically, Kevin Conroy's back. Mark Hamill's back. You just saw the trailer. You had seen the trailer already, I believe.
I'd seen the trailer,
so you saw the animation style. Just let's talk about The Killing Joke first. Are you familiar with the story, and are you looking forward to seeing it brought to the
I did read
screen?
The Killing Joke. Okay. I'm in love with The Killing Joke. Ending confuses me, but it confuses everybody.
I kind of take it as like, kind of that Inception.
Lots of interpretation behind it. Yeah. But yeah, I'm slightly excited for it right now. Not only slightly.
Why is that?
The animation looks a little off to me.
Yeah, I agree. It looks a little cheap.
The thing is, I'm not saying like I could do better, but the thing is, I've seen them do better animation.
I feel like even with some of these DC animated movies, because these DC animated movies are usually really good. I haven't watched any of the recent ones. But I remember Gotham Knight, Under the Red Hood, Dark Knight Returns rather. They were all really good. So I mean, Dark Knight Returns had really good animation too. So
and if they came out and said like they were going back to like that old fashioned, because that's what it looks like. It looks like we're stepping back a few years because that looks like the old TV show.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Although what I do like is it does look like at least the character designs, when you look at the way the Joker's facial structure is drawn and like
that's
stuff like
on
that,
point.
It does
it's
look
right from the comic.
Exactly, right from this specific comic too. Because sometimes Joker, like we mentioned the Jared Leto Joker, that's not the same Joker as this Joker because that's from an entirely different era, and that's cool that they're adapting because there's that much comic material to draw from. But this film, they're taking straight out of The Killing Joke itself. So that'll be really cool. And do you think this movie will be rated R? Because The Killing Joke, the comic, goes into some pretty brutal stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think Barbara Gordon gets assaulted basically, and Jim Gordon has to watch, and it's some pretty messed up stuff.
If it's not rated R, it's going to be pushing PG-13.
Yeah.
I can't say from the trailer so far because
one way or another.
Yeah, I can't say right now, but if they are keeping all of the material from the comic book I could see it being rated R.
Yeah, the one thing that the director said not too long ago is that it's possible because, back in the day, PG-13 and the line between PG-13 and R was kind of...
It was different.
Yeah, so now the argument is made that you can go really far with PG-13 and make it hard PG-13.
Right.
But not entirely get there to be R. So they're kind of... The way I took that quote was they're just kind of... making the film just naturally, and then we'll see where the rating goes and if they need to change it from there. But I don't know. R doesn't necessarily make a film good, even though I did buy the R-rated Ultimate Edition for Batman vs. Superman, hoping that that'll make it good. But it doesn't always make
Don't have too much faith in that.
I know. But the one thing that it does do is I don't want it to feel like it's held back. So the fact that they're making this film and just kind of...
Seeing what happens
with it. It looks really cool. So anything else you want to add about the Killing Joke before we move on?
Curious to see where it goes from here.
Now I wonder what the next animated DC comic book film is going to be, because I'd love to see a Arkham Asylum book, or movie rather, because that book, I read the Arkham Asylum, Serious House and Serious Earth graphic novel, and that was very good. I love the way it's like kind of dreamlike and very...
Yeah, I haven't checked that one
surreal.
out.
I have it. You ought to borrow it sometime. It's very good.
Try.
And so moving on, we're still in the realm of DC Comics movies. We're going to talk about Wonder Woman. The release date got pushed up. It was going to release June 23rd, 2017, but now it's going to come out June 2nd, 2017. So it got pushed up like 3 weeks. But the major takeaway from this is not only did they put the new date down for Wonder Woman, DC Comics also put down 2 untitled movie dates. One is going to be October 5th, 2018, and one is going to be November 1st, 2019. Those are 2 more DC Extended Universe films that are added
What are they up to?
on top of their current slate.
Yeah.
So let's speculate just a little bit. Obviously, Wonder Woman being moved up is cool and all, but what do you think these mystery movies are? Batman, maybe? Because that's what I'm hoping for.
Well, I did read something that Ben Affleck did write himself a Batman script.
Yeah, we did talk about that in the last episode of Film Fan Club Show, so make sure you check that out.
He did write a Batman script.
And supposedly it's really cool.
Well, yeah, he's an Oscar-winning writer.
That's a good point, good point.
If anybody was to write it, I think he could be right on the money because he has spent time with this character, and he now understands it. And he could very well write his own Batman movie, and I think it would be good.
Now, one thing is, Batman. I think the Batman movie. I'm not going to place any bets, but if I had to put money on it, I would assume that the October 2018 release date is going to be that Batman movie because it's that was the major takeaway from Batman vs. Superman. Everyone, aside from myself and a lot of other people that were like, "Hey, why is Batman a freaking murderer?" But killing like 100 people, but whatever, we'll get past that. But no, a lot of people were like, Ben Affleck is Batman. He was brutal, he was awesome, he was cool. So naturally, I would imagine Warner Brothers would be like, all right, let's
bring back Ben.
Yeah, we're doing Suicide Squad. People are really excited for that.
Yeah.
And so why not do a Batman film if Ben Affleck wants to do it? Now, as for the other film, that's the major question because I don't understand. Like maybe now, do you think it's Suicide Squad 2, or do you think it's an original property?
I'm not sure. I'm going down from Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah.
Spoilers if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But when she goes down that online thing, I know Aquaman has his release date.
Yeah, they're already having release dates for the Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman movie. So I don't know if it's going to be
Flash,
any
Cyborg,
of those.
Aquaman. Wasn't there a 4th one?
I'm trying to think. There's obviously the Dark Side stuff.
I don't know where they're going with that.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, and also, today we're filming this on April 11th. Justice League starts filming today, so they're right now on the DC Warner Brothers lot. They're getting ready to start shooting Justice League with Zack Snyder, Jason Momoa, Gal Gadot,
break a leg down there.
Yeah, good job, guys. So it's looking pretty cool. I don't know what they're gonna. Yeah, but if I had to get, let's play the game. Instead of speculating what might realistically it be, what do you want it to be? If you could,
what do I want it to be?
You were in charge of Warner Brothers right now, and you're like, hey, we got these 2 dates. What movie should we do?
Yeah.
What would you say?
I would like to see a Suicide Squad 2.
Okay.
I would like to see that. If there's any other DC characters that need a movie,
I personally want to see the Teen Titans. Ever since Richard got me onto this idea when we first reviewed
You want to see a Teen Titans?
I want to see Teen. I don't think you should call it Teen Titans, and I don't think you should have Robin in it. I think you should call it DC's Titans and have Nightwing as the main character.
Maybe it's Titans.
Yeah, or just Titans. Yeah, and I think they're, because they're Marvel always does Marvel's Captain America, so it's like I don't know. That'd be kind of their way of being able to do it, because just Titans sounds like a little short, but. I don't know. I think it'd be really cool. And I always think you could just adapt the seasons of the TV show. Just season 1, do the Slade storyline. Season 2, do the Brother Blood storyline. Season 3, do the Trigon storyline. It's pretty cool. I think they'd make for pretty cool. Like if that'd make a great trilogy of films right there. So
I know he has his own TV show right now, but I feel like Green Arrow would also be a great movie.
That's someone a lot of people have been mentioning, like, hey, this guy. I mean. He's doing a great job. Even Stephen Amell, who plays him in the show, people have been hoping that maybe he gets a film. I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever want to cross over those universes, but I mean
they usually don't.
Yeah, well, in the Flash they've introduced the idea of multiverses, so maybe they could do some multiverse things and have multiple versions of characters. I don't know.
I hate it when they do that. To be honest, it gets annoying.
It's a little confusing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the problem I had with Batman vs Superman actually was the multiple. Reality thing, because it was just so messy.
Where Flash came?
Yeah, that was so messy. So, we haven't actually had your response to Batman vs Superman on the show yet. So, just really quickly, what'd you think of the film?
It's just fine. It's like everybody was like, "Oh, it's the worst movie of 2016 by far," and I was walking in expecting shoot. I come in expecting a bad movie, then your manager throws a slush at my face. I'm like, well, now my day's even worse.
Yeah, he came in to see me at Cinemark, and my manager accidentally
sets down my ice, he explodes in my face. I'm like, thank you.
And that was the kind of experience you were in for.
And then I sat down, and theater was packed. I'm like, oh, we're all here for a bad film. And it was just fine. I feel like people went in expecting the best movie they've ever seen, and it was hyped up a lot. Everybody thought it was going to be fantastic, and it was a letdown. But I feel like everybody was really making it sound like a bigger letdown than it actually was.
I agree. There's
7.5.
7.5. That's what Anthony gave it too whenever he came and reviewed it. I gave it a 6 out of 10 because I did find there was there's just barely more pros than there were cons, but that list of pros versus cons was both sides was pretty full. So it was
7.5 is what I gave Man of Steel, because I watched that the other day. 7's what I gave Batman vs. Superman.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good transition. Yeah, because I was going to ask you next. You borrowed Man of Steel after you saw Batman vs. Superman. So what was that like? You went from Batman vs. Superman to Man of Steel.
From Batman vs. Superman, I'm like, okay, Superman's interesting, because just hearing about Superman, I always thought Superman was just lame.
He's a little bit too overpowered, so you can make him boring in that sense.
And I've played Superman video games, and there's never going to be a good Superman. I watched a video. There's never going to be a good Superman video game because they always have to dumb him down for the player, or else he'll just destroy everything.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, give him a shot. I'm one of the people that have watched Christopher Reeve in the late 70s, early 80s.
I haven't seen those movies.
I've watched 1, 2, 3. I never watched 4. I didn't dare touch it.
Well, 3 I heard was pretty bad.
3 was bad too.
But at that point, you're like, all right.
And 3 was bad. And when people said 4 was worse, I was like, okay, we managed to get worse from that, so I'm not going to touch it. I watched Nostalgia Critic review it.
Yeah, I did too. That was pretty funny. Yeah.
It's definitely a good movie. I like the actor they got for Superman.
Man of Steel, I love it. The scene where he takes flight is one of my favorite superhero moments ever.
It's really good. It's good for our up-to-date technology. Christopher Reeve, he kind of gave more of a smarmy kind of
golly
I felt like it. Well, not like that. I viewed him kind of more as a James Bond as Superman.
Okay.
He was like he played the kind of like nerdy going Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Whereas what's his name?
Henry Cavill.
He plays kind of a more serious Clark Kent from what I've seen. And I like it. I like it. He did a great job. The movie's great. It's good. It's worth checking out.
You want to see a Superman standalone sequel?
That'd be nice.
Or would you because, I mean, well, that's another question. That's a whole... spoilers for Batman vs. Superman. I don't know. We kind of ruined it.
Yeah.
But imagine if you're watching a show called the Film Fan Club Show, you're a fan of films, so you probably saw one of the biggest movies over the past
If you
weekend.
haven't seen Batman vs. Superman, you're not a fan.
Not a fan of films. So, no, I forgot even what I was going to say. Let's move on.
You were going to talk about like Superman rising from the dead. Were you going to talk about that?
Oh, yeah, because
that's where you were going.
That's what I was wondering, yeah, because like, how are they going to do that? And then imagine they got to take care of it in Justice League. So, but it's the whole problem with shared cinematic universes. Because if someone watches Man of Steel and then they go to the second Superman movie, they call it Man of Steel 2. It's like, okay, like, oh, well, holy shit, Superman died in between these two. It's like, what? Yeah.
Right.
So that's the whole problem.
But
with
right when they
universes.
killed Superman, I knew he's not dead.
Yeah, it's the second movie.
You're not killing Superman. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And just when the rubble started rising, I'm like, I knew it. I knew it.
Well, let's move on now, and we're going to move on to another Warner Brothers property. This also came out of the MTV Movie Awards. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. The Harry Potter spinoff starring Eddie Redmayne and lots of other people. Dan Fogler, a lot of other people, Ron Perlman, other people that Colin Farrell. I didn't even know Colin Farrell was in this movie until I watched the trailer last night.
Yeah.
And so that trailer came out last night, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
What did you think?
That's a movie I'm keeping up to date with because I'm a huge fan of the original Harry Potter.
Yeah, you're more of a Harry Potter fan than I am. I've only seen like the first 3 and the last 3. I don't know. So
yeah, and being a film fan club, I've never read the books. I know I'm guilty for that. I
do not read.
I always get told, you're not a real Harry Potter fan. I'm like, okay, whatever. I've seen the films.
Yeah. Who cares?
I'm loyal to the films.
Go join your book fan club.
And book fan club. We'll put a link in the description below. You can check out their channel. And they're very good. When the last movies came out, I kind of got all caught up with the action. The action in the Harry Potter movies became really intense.
Yeah.
And when I watched Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, I didn't see too much action. I saw them cast a spell every now and then. And I'm definitely interested to see, because it's not a book. We know nothing about this. We can't go to the books and see, like, this is what the movie's going to be about.
I think that's so cool, because for once we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Like, when Deathly Hallows Part 2 was coming out, everybody
knew.
Man, wait till you get to the end. You're going to cry your eyes
blow
out.
your
It's like,
mind.
I don't care, la 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 la. No. So, and I did cry, but no.
As an 8-year-old, I read all the, like, spoilers.
Oh, really?
And I wish I never would have.
Yeah, I bet. I did the same thing for Pirates of the Caribbean 3, because I was so into Harry Potter, Pirates of the Caribbean, very different. But I was very into the movies. So
one's more successful than the other.
Pirates of the Caribbean 4 made $1 billion worldwide, and so did Alice in Wonderland, so there you go. No, but in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, my main takeaway from this was the first trailer, because this is like the second or third trailer that's come out.
It is.
The first 2 just basically showed you, okay.
This is the second one, yeah.
We're basically back in Harry Potter land. It's like, that's cool and all, but what's the story? This one showed the story, showed the actor, it showed just like a lot of the set pieces even.
Yeah.
Not a lot of action, but just a lot of quick shots and stuff,
right.
People casting spells, and man, when that theme came on, I was like, oh, we're back.
It's not nostalgia, but it made me feel nostalgic when I heard it. But I know, I'm like, the movie came out just like
5 years ago. The last one.
It's not that old.
Well, I mean, when you consider it's been going on from the early 2000s all the way.
I thought Harry Potter was done. I'm like, it's over. It's done. Now she's writing an 8th book. And I'm kind of sitting there going, why are you doing that?
That's what I heard. I don't know about actually, because this is the way I think they should go with it.
Right.
It's
that was a great ending.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you don't really need to continue the story whenever the universe is so rich. I don't even think, honestly, a lot of people are like, you're just milking it for money. I'm like, I mean, kind of. Star Wars is kind of milking it for money.
Right.
But as long as we get to enjoy, like, we don't need to see a Rogue One movie, but that'd be fun to see.
What Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is doing is, in the Harry Potter universe, you're never gonna run out of ideas and like have a story for that universe, which is why I like Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It's a new character to get to know him. But if Harry Potter 8 to me, there's no more to tell about Harry Potter.
I agree. Well,
he's done. His story's over.
His story's over, but what if he had a kid?
He does have a kid.
They went to Hogwarts and had adventures.
You haven't seen part 2, have you?
Part 2, yeah, I saw the ending. At the ending,
they get on the Hogwarts train.
But like, what
and
if it continues from there?
That school needs to be shut down. If this kid's having dangerous adventures like him, this school needs to be shut down.
Yeah, for real, yeah.
Come see our three-headed dog that eats children down in the basement. Come on. This needs to be shut down.
It probably
Oh
does.
my gosh.
No, I think, I agree. This is definitely the way to go. Why at the because I mean, even if Fantastic Beasts sucks, which is probably not going to happen.
Not going to happen because J.K. Rowling's behind.
Yeah, I think she wrote the script. Yeah,
she did.
So I mean, it's not going to. Even if it's a letdown, though, we're going to be like, well, we still have the saga. That's fine. We still got the Harry Potter saga. So even like if Rogue One sucks, well, that'll kind of be more of a letdown. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the thing is it's no harm, no foul. But if you do Harry Potter 8 and you actually make a sequel to the original series,
you better not screw up those past 7 books, 8 movies.
Exactly, because you can ruin it that way. So,
yeah.
I'm lots to look forward to for the next Harry Potter spinoff. I'm really looking. I think this is the first of a trilogy, at least. You know, of course, they could say a trilogy and then they could do 7 more movies, but I'm really looking forward to. Eddie Redmayne looks cool. He looks like the 11th Doctor. So
with his coat.
With the coat and the bow tie and his quirkiness.
Love how they're coming to America. And we're in the 1920s.
Yeah, it's a period piece, and that's really cool. And they even got the director of the last 4 or 5 Harry Potter movies. Definitely the guy who directed Part 1 and 2 of
which
Deathly
are
Hallows.
My favorites.
Yeah, my favorite is Part 2 of Deathly Hallows, which,
granted,
I haven't seen it since July of 2011 when I was in the theater, so that's why I have gaps in my memory from it. But it's I just love the action. Because I'm not really I'm not as invested in the world as some like my friends are, and so it was just fun to see whoa, awesome wizard action. Hell yeah. So coming from that approach, this movie looks really good too.
Right.
Next up, this also comes out in November of this year, and by the time you're watching this, there's actually a trailer for it out right now, because on Tuesday night they're going to release.
Oh, is it really?
They're going to release a Doctor Strange trailer.
Okay.
But, yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch was filming in New York, and did you hear about that? He visited a comic book stand.
He did, yeah.
There's a lot of set pictures that were released.
What a great day.
Did you get a chance to see the set pictures?
I've not seen set pictures, but I knew it was a big deal. He went to a comic book store.
Yeah, he went to a comic book store. Some people, there's some pictures of the villain right there.
Oh, okay.
Mads Mikkelsen, who you said is actually one of your favorite.
He's one of my favorite
actors. They were shooting, and actually the principal photography has wrapped production now. So Doctor Strange, a lot to take away. They were filming in New York. You saw Mads Mikkelsen as the villain. Probably they're going to add some more stuff to his eyes, digital and whatnot. But also, principal photography wrapped. Mads Mikkelsen, you saw him in the film, and then there's a trailer coming, which is out right by the time you're watching this, and we didn't get it, sorry. But so what do you think
it's fine.
of all this news regarding Doctor Strange? Are you more or less excited?
Doctor Strange's a character I've never really gone in depth for.
Yeah.
I've never read anything about him. I knew he existed.
Yeah.
Is basically what I knew about him. I don't know what he does. I don't know anything about him. I just knew Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange. Oh, good for him.
It looks cool. I mean, I have seen pictures of the character, and I've seen pictures of Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, and it looks pretty close.
But yeah, I'll watch the trailer. I'll see if it looks like a character I'm going to be interested in. But right now, I don't know too much about him.
Yeah, and the main thing that I'm kind of looking forward to is this is going to be a different kind of original take on the Marvel Universe, whereas Guardians of the Galaxy introduced us to a whole new dimension, the Galaxy-verse of the...
More dimensions.
Yeah, exactly. This one is... and then Ant-Man kind of showed us, how it, it's an original take. It's a heist movie. This one's going to be like a sorcerer kind of magic movie. And magic, I love that genre.
Magic movie.
Magic movies. Speaking of Harry Potter, no, but it'll be really fun to see, because this is because whereas Thor and even Iron Man, they all tried to be grounded in science, and it's like this looks like magic, but it's really science. This one, it looks like it's going to be going all out, crazy, drug-induced, not schizophrenic, but hallucinogen, crazy, different vortexes. It'll be really cool to see.
I'm now imagining what if Doctor Strange was a schizophrenic?
That would be crazy. Schizophrenic.
I feel like he'd be a villain.
Yeah, he would be a villain. No, Mads Mikkelsen looks pretty cool too. I'm wondering what his character is going to be. People have been mentioning things like the mindless ones. I have no idea.
He's
what
the bad guy, right?
He is the bad guy.
Because he's a good bad guy.
Oh my gosh, he's a great bad guy. He is also going to be in Rogue One. We didn't see him in the trailer.
He wasn't in the trailer, and that really let me down.
Yeah, I was wondering if he's going to show up and when he was going to show up. So. That's it for the movie news topics. That was a lot of fun talking about those. Now let's talk about a movie. This is typically what we call our something old, something new segment, but we're kind of messing with that this week. We're going to talk about.
I haven't heard what we're talking about.
It's 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured you can talk about that.
Right, so, I haven't gotten to share my opinion.
Exactly. So he was gonna shoot a review, and then I was gonna shoot a review, and then we're both gonna shoot a review, and then
it never happened.
It is hard going to school and having a job at the same time, guys. It's so difficult. No, but enough about that. Let's talk about 10 Cloverfield Lane. This is our something old/new segment. And so basically, you have a lot more thoughts. I would just kind of, it was cool. So yeah, let's hear your thoughts. What did you expect going in and then now?
Yeah, as a fan of the original movie,
sure.
I knew from the very beginning, they came out, it's a spinoff. I'm like, okay, we're not getting the direct sequel we all hoped and dreamed of, but still, it's got Cloverfield on it.
Yes.
And the trailer came out, and never has a trailer caught my attention, catch me by surprise, because I had no idea this was happening. They released the trailer in January.
Yeah, January, sorry.
And then they were like, March it's coming out, and I was like, that's 2 months.
2 months from now, yeah.
Like, that is quick. Good job, J.J. Abrams, keeping that a secret.
There was you mentioned whenever the first trailer came out, it was so funny because everyone was focused on Star Wars,
Star Trek, and then he's like, hey guys, look at that.
There's a Cloverfield spinoff.
And everybody's like, what?
Yeah.
But it was a fantastic movie, and I'm gonna spoil it starting now.
Spoilers for 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah. I was wondering what was going to be happening. I did think there was something out there from the very let-go with down in the bunker.
Yeah, I had no idea. That was the cool thing about it.
I'm pretty, like, I knew, when I saw a trailer, I was watching South Park, and then a 10 Cloverfield trailer came out, and once I saw it, it was the woman knocking on the door from that movie, and it didn't show the woman in the trailer. But I've never saw that trailer before. I'm like, okay, so something's out there, and she looks something freaky. And when I went in, she was freaky and stuff like that. And I went online, I couldn't find the trailer again. And I was like, oh my gosh, so something's going on out there. And there were aliens. And as the movie ended, I was like, they left rooms for a sequel. And I went online and I was like, is there some strange way the movies could be connected, the first one, the second one? And I read something and I love it. They're like, okay, think about it. This movie's down in like Texas, Louisiana,
the South in a bunker,
territory. First movie takes place all the way in New York. Why can't the movies be happening at the same time? And I'm like, okay, I believe that. And so I'm kind of straying from how I felt about the movie. I'm just talking about the movie.
That's fine.
But I loved the movie. It was great. I saw it opening day. That was a movie where I'm like, I'm seeing that.
Yeah, you saw it like the Thursday night premiere.
Oh, I remember. I saw it the day before. They had a special screen. I'm like, I'm going to that. Take my money.
I remember because like you like were looking at the reserve seating. It's like you're like one of the only people that
I was because I got my tickets like in February, and when I got it and when I went, not too many people were there.
It wasn't sold out?
It was not sold out in any way, shape, or form. And that's because I think a lot of people didn't know how to take the movie.
Yeah.
But John Goodman stole the show with his performance. And
he was so creepy.
I gave it an 8 out of 10 because it held up to the original in a way, but it was still very fresh and new, and then they left room for a sequel. I'm like, I don't know where you're going with that, but
I haven't seen the original actually. I really liked this in the sense that it was just kind of like a weird Twilight Zone-y kind of just weird, one of those weird stories that you watch on like the Sci-Fi Channel, but done with a great budget. John Goodman was great. Mary Elizabeth Winstead was great. The scene where John Goodman makes the guy, I can't remember the guy's name.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, but
I feel like his first name's Aaron.
He makes him like apologize, and then he shoots him in the head, and then when she's
freaked me out.
Yeah, and then when she's trying to escape, and then she finds him in the oh my gosh.
Creepiest thing in that movie to me.
What was that?
Was when he came down to her and he shaved. That was the creepiest thing. I was ready for this man to die.
Yeah.
I was ready for him to die.
I thought it was creepy when she was in she was in the air vent, the ventilation shaft, and then he was like putting the knife in there.
I'm sure a lot of like people that like don't like tight space
exactly.
freaking out.
Yeah, claustrophobic scenes like that where there's like where you like could get stabbed at any moment. Freak me out, little scenes like that. So that was cool.
But 8 out of 10. It's a lot of times I forgot I was watching a Cloverfield. Like, I forgot about the original movie the whole time I was watching it. And which I think is a good thing also. Since it is a spin-off, I don't want to try to find connections between the movies. But when I did leave, I kind of like that idea that they could be connected.
Happened at the same time. So yeah, I never saw the original. So were the aliens in the original kind of similar to the aliens in this movie? Or?
See, the thing is, they're nowhere close.
Oh, really? Okay.
That one thing that you saw crawling, we never really got a great look at it. But I could tell just by the design, it is not
the same.
The same. There were these small little four-legged, big jaw things, and this thing was a weird, it had a caterpillar thing going. It did have legs, and then there was one giant monster in Cloverfield.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
It was a Godzilla kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I accidentally stumbled across it too on Google Images when I was trying to edit a video about Cloverfield. And it said Cloverfield on it. I just typed in Google. I was like, dang it! Well, I guess I don't need to watch the original. No, I'm still gonna watch the original
it's still a great movie.
Is the original better than this one?
No one's ever asked me that, and now when I am asked, I don't know how to answer it. I've never thought about that.
They're just different films, or
they are very different. I went after the movie, I'm like, okay, they are not connected in any way. Storytelling-wise, 10 Cloverfield Lane's a better movie, but I will say that the original Cloverfield, I felt like I was on a roller coaster, and that has something to do with the found footage element to that. But
this one did not have the found footage element.
No, both of these did keep my attention the whole time, sitting up straight, just what is happening. Both of them did that, and they both succeeded in being good movies.
I think, man, now you're making me wonder I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 too, because I can't think of a lot that I didn't like about the film. I'm trying to think of anything that I didn't like about the film. There's not a lot to dislike. I mean, the only thing is it's just not as good as the potential.
No, I felt like the ending was rushed with the alien
I'll give
thing.
You that, yeah. It felt like they kind of had to tack on a tie-in to Cloverfield. I feel like it almost would have worked. Yeah, and okay, now I remember what I was going to say. Okay, because I remember walking, it was like a month ago when I saw this movie. But so I remember walking, or feeling like whenever she gets out and then looks and there's a flash or something like that, you could have ended the movie like that, and you wouldn't have needed to have her go on that set piece where she fights the thing and throws a thing.
Gets the Molotov.
Yeah, that was an action. Yeah, that felt like a forced action.
It felt like a different movie.
It did feel like a different movie.
It felt like a very different movie.
I guess that would be my main problem with the film, was the fact that the ending was rushed and it felt like a different movie, and it felt tacked on to try and get the Cloverfield title in there.
Right, and the only way they did leave the sequel, the UFO, and she's driving to get help, and I'm like, if they did do a sequel, it would be kind of like a war movie, kind of like Battle Los Angeles. It would be kind of fighting aliens.
Three different tones. If you watch the three movies, assuming they did make a war movie out of the sequel, but that would be the tone would be all over the place.
I wouldn't like a war movie. I will say that now. J.J. Abrams, if you're watching, don't do it. Don't make a war movie about it.
You can do it. I'll watch it still. I don't care. But yeah, so because I haven't seen the original, so
right.
I'll watch Cloverfield. It seems fun.
Yeah.
But no, I really liked it. I'd give it 8 out of 10, and I think that's what I gave Force Awakens. So J.J. Abrams, 8 out of 10
Good job,
for
dude.
you.
You're on your solid 8s.
Yeah, I went from the Star Trek movies, which I thought were 7.5 out of 10, and then I went up to 8 out of 10 for Force Awakens, and then now I'm still at 8 out of 10.
New Star Trek's about to come out.
Yeah, Star Trek Beyond. I'm not too excited for that, because they the trailer looks like a Guardians of the Galaxy ripoff. And then there's this fan film going on called Star Trek Axanar, where a lot of passionate people, including one guy named Robert Meyer Burnett, who does Collider Heroes, which I watch avidly, he got sued by Paramount. They're like, hey, you're making a fan film and celebrating 50 years of our product that you enjoy, but you can't do that.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, that's just not good press, Paramount.
Right.
Come on, you're being dumb. You dumb. Could you imagine if Star Wars, you remember that Darth Maul fan film that came out recently? There was one. And imagine if Star Wars was like, hey,
we're suing you.
Yeah, don't do that.
You like our character design.
How dare you make a character movie about one of our beloved properties and not make money from it, but generate interest in our property? Gosh.
How dare they?
So pissed off. No, but yeah, so... actually, I turned the page and it says Winstead has voiced her interest in returning for another installment. So maybe there could be.
Wonder if Bradley Cooper will return from his great role in 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, as
the boyfriend.
Yeah.
I just felt like
Forgot
it was
about that.
called. I looked it up and I went back and rewatched the movie. I saw it twice, and I kind of hyped my friend up. I'm like, dude, Bradley Cooper's in the movie. And he was like, what? And I sat there, and once she hung up the phone for the second time, I went, Bradley Cooper, ladies and gentlemen. And he looked at me, he's like, that's it? I'm like, yep. It's like.
That's funny.
It's like, why? How'd they get him? I feel like he wanted to do it or something like that.
It's like walking past the set one day. He's like, hey, you want to record a voiceover? It's like, sure. Why not? I'll do it for $5. Or do it for $1,000. I mean, come on. Must have taken like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's our show for today, guys. We talked for a little while about some stuff. That's what we do every week here.
Things.
Make sure you check it out next week. We're going to be talking about that Doctor Strange trailer. I might do a trailer reaction, but don't count on it because I get busy. So that's our show.
Just watch it yourselves.
Just watch it yourselves. I liked it. Peyton Grufik, where can people find you online?
You can find me at that one guy named Peyton, all lowercase, on Instagram.
Peyton spelled with an E?
Peyton spelled with an E. I always forget that, not an A.
Well, it's in the lower thirds right now, so you can see that down there. And, of course, there will be a link in the description below, also a link to my various social media sites where you can find me at Samuel D. Carrico. You can also find either of us on Riverside Live on Tulsa Tech's YouTube page, youtube.com/Tulsa Tech Center. And we host that every now and then. And
we have officially ended.
Yeah, it's
Riverside
ended. So
Live,
you can basically watch old episodes at this point. So check it out. You might see me swear
Book
on
Fan
accident.
Club.
The
We'll
book
put down there, remember?
Fuck the book fan club. That's our show, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.